Hi there, I'm Grandad Seaside. Why Grandad Seaside? Well, I'm Edith and Bee's granddad, and I live here beside the sea, here on the Isle of Wight. Such a beautiful place, and I'm standing right next to what we call Edith's Beach. Edith's Beach is her favourite beach to come to when she comes to see me here on the Isle of Wight. So, Grandad, Seaside, makes sense now, so let's try and make sense of something else. So what does a 3D printer even look like? Well, this is my 3D printer. It's one of lots of different types, but this is the one I'm going to use. And I'm going to just show you some of the things that really matter on this printer so that we can talk about them later. Here, can you see the blue? That's the blue plastic that we're going to use. Here, there's a thing called the bed. And up here, there's a machine that gets really, really hot to melt the plastic. So I had some blue plastic on the machine. You saw that when I showed you the machine a little moment ago. But you can get lots of different types of plastic. I've got pink, I've got black, I've got red, I've got yellow, and in my box I've got some green, some brown, some purple. You can get lots of different colours of plastic. But what is this plastic? Well, the plastic is actually little thin pieces of plastic, long rolls of plastic. So what are we going to do with the 3D printer? Well, I've got some screwdrivers, and the little screwdrivers that I use, but they keep rolling about in the drawer that I keep them in. So what I want to do is I want to make a little box that can hold these screwdrivers neat and tidy inside the drawer of my desk. So that's what we're going to do. So what I need to do first, of course, is I need to measure these screwdrivers to make sure that I make a box. So on my computer, I make a model of the box. Now I made sure that I measured the length of the screwdrivers so that the box is going to be big enough when I need to put all the screwdrivers into it. And this model is exactly what the 3D printer is going to build. So let's try and understand how it works. The plastic here on the roll gets pushed up a tube here at the back, comes all the way around the top, and then comes here to this piece which gets really hot. And when it comes here, it melts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you it melting some plastic. And you'll see that some plastic is starting to melt here, and it's melting the plastic and making a really tiny string of plastic. So that's how it works. It's as simple as that. Cold plastic, heater, melted plastic. So let's make our box on the printer. Is going to tell the computer to make the box from the model that you saw. So the printer is now hot enough. And what it's going to do is it's going to test that it can print by printing a single line of the blue plastic. Now remember, the blue plastic on the roll is cold, and it's come up here and it's being melted into a really thin line that you can see on the bed. Now what the printer is going to do now is it's going to do the outside of the box, and it's going to put down a special bit of plastic that will help it to stick to the bed. So the printer's starting to get to build the walls of the box. It's got the outside edge all down nice and sticky, and it's going to print the walls of the box. You can see that our box is a rectangle, nice and neat and easy for the screwdrivers to fit into. So now the printer is starting to make the bottom of the box. If you look in here, you'll see the bottom of the box starting to be printed. So the printer is nearly finished on the first bit of the floor of the box. But do you remember how thin the plastic was when it comes out? It's really thin, and it's not very strong. So what the printer will do is it'll make more layers. And a layer is something that sits on top of something else. So it's going to make layers and layers of plastic until the bottom of the box is strong enough and won't wobble or break. So the printer has finished making the bottom of the box, and now it's starting on the walls. Well, I never did. Doing Edie's hair. So it's doing really well and it's nearly finished. Just a little bit more to go and then it will be done. The walls are getting nice and tall and they look as if they're going to be super strong because they're quite thick too. So the printing has stopped. The box is done. So you can see that everything is ready for us now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it cool down, and that makes it easy for it to come off the bed. And when it cools down, it's really easy just to lift it off the box, off the bed. So let's just check that I've got what I want. So I've got my screwdrivers, put them in the box, and that's great. That's really good, and it'll stop them rolling about when they're in the drawer. So the last thing I do with my 3D prints, just take it out a minute, is I take this off, because this was just to help it to stick on the surface of the bed, and I can throw that away, and then I use this special tool to trim the rough edge. Now of course I want my box, and that's really good, but I'm going to make myself another one, because what I'll do is I'll send this box to Edie so that you can have a good look at what was actually made and how it looks once everything's done. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you now know how a 3D printer works.